If you click this video, there's a good chance that you're not happy. You're probably stuck in your room all day. You're a young man. You don't have any drive. You probably have a bad physique. You don't talk to any girls or any dudes for that matter. And you just feel aimless and feel like that you don't have a purpose. I was the exact same way, but I feel happy now. And I think I found the secret to happiness. You want to know the secret? I'll tell you. The secret to happiness is to stop trying to be happy. What? How does that make any sense? How do you get happy by not trying to be happy? Isn't that the opposite of what you think? Like, if you want to get a good physique, you have to go to the gym. You have to at least try, right? So, how do you get happy by stop trying to be happy? To explain this, let me give you an analogy. There's one guy that wants to start going to the gym. So he drives 15 minutes away to the gym, pushes some heavy weight. He's grunting, he's sweating, he's making all those noises because he's like putting in that much effort, right? And he's unhappy doing it because it's just so hard. And he sees all his friends eating donuts and creamy food, and he wants to do it, but he can't because he has to stick true to his diet. So he doesn't do that either. He doesn't get to eat what he wants. He doesn't get to train how he wants. And he's just unhappy doing it because he has to stay consistent, he has to stay disciplined, and it's hard work. Not everyone can do it, right? And he's just going through the motions. He's like, and he doesn't feel good bench pressing. He doesn't feel good going to bed at 10 p.m. He doesn't feel good eating chicken and rice every day. And 6 months later, he looks at himself in the mirror and he's proud of what he's accomplished. He's ripped. He has a good physique. His mental health is probably a lot better. And this was because he was unhappy for a long time, that now he's happy and now that he's in a place where he's actually proud of. Now let's compare that to another guy. This guy does whatever he wants to make himself as happy as possible. He's junk food all day. He never goes to the gym. He goons all day. He's just wasting a lot of time on his phone, not training, not eating properly, going to bed at 4 a.m. And this guy's happy as hell. He's doing whatever he wants without any consequences. But look, 6 months later, he can't even look at himself in the mirror because he's ashamed of how he looks. He has a horrible body, and his mental state is probably cooked. Do you see the pattern? One chose discomfort and he went through hell for the next 6 months, right? But 6 months later, he had the dream body. His mental state was amazing, and he's finally happy now. And the second guy chose pleasure, chose comfort, and look what he got. He got unhappiness. He has horrible mental state, horrible physique, horrible everything. Happiness is never something you chase directly. It's a byproduct. Even if I was given $1 billion right now, I still wouldn't stop what I'm doing because I have a drive, I have a purpose, right? And now, like, I need something to work toward. I've never been someone who can just like live life, go through the motions, right? I've always needed a set goal to work toward because that's what pushes me. That's what drives me, right? Like, even if you see these billionaires, look at Jeff Bezos. He's like working out, he's training hard. Zuckerberg is doing like MMA and jiu-jitsu. It's just like, despite having all the money, despite having the ability to just sit down and just mooch, they decide to actually do something, right? Because I feel like as young men, we are structured to find a goal, chase a goal, and work relentlessly toward it. For me, I was 90 pounds when I was 16 years old. I absolutely hated how I looked in the mirror, right? And like every time I just feel so ashamed of myself because like I knew that I was capable of doing much more, right? But I was super scrawny. I had no social confidence. And despite what anyone tells you, the way you look does determine how people treat you. It's a fact, right? If you're out of shape, if you're like super fat or you're super skinny, people do see you with a little bit less respect, right? You'll get picked on, especially if you're in high school. But I finally decided that I wanted to start making a change. So what I did was this. I decided that I would want to work out every single day and finally build a good body. So I went to my parents and asked them for a gym membership, and they listened to some bad advice about lifting weights making you shorter as a teen, so they didn't let me go, right? But no way was that going to stop me. So what I did was I went to my basement and I convinced them to get me a pull-up bar, right? I started spamming push-ups and pull-ups. So I did 100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups every single day, right? I was training hard. Even though I didn't have a gym, I was doing my very best to make it work because I did have a purpose now. I was working hard. So, and another thing that really sucked was I was super skinny. I was 90 pounds, so I had to eat more in order to grow. So I'd stuff my face with food. I remember there was this one milkshake I'd make where I'm low-key lactose intolerant, so I can't even digest milk that well. So, but I was still pouring a bunch of milk into this blender, blending it up and eating till I was about to puke. I would just be eating so much, trying my best to gain weight. And it was hard. I always felt bloated. It just felt really bad. And I wouldn't recommend that. But over time, I did start to increase my weight. And the most important thing is training when you have no motivation, when you really don't want to do it at all. You're tired. You have a bunch of schoolwork to work toward, right? That's the most important moment, as when you have to push. Like, I felt horrible all the time. I never really wanted to train a lot of the times, and no one's there like cheering you on, right? So you have to push, you have to train hard despite what anyone thinks, right? And you just gotta keep the promises to yourself, I feel like that's the most important thing. Is as a man, if you can't even keep the promises that you made to yourself, you're just not going to feel accomplished. You're just going to feel shitty all the time. So that's what I did. I kept the promise to myself that I would train every single day, and I kept that. Like I've still, despite in the last 4 years of me going to the gym, I've never once taken a long break from the gym because I felt lazy or just wanted to skip. It's just only when I'm injured do I take breaks. But that's the most important thing, is pushing even when you have no motivation. And for months, I never saw progress, but I kept at it because I used to play chess and I knew that if you want to achieve something significant, you're going to have to do this for a while. You're never going to see it at first. So I kept pushing. I finally started seeing some growth in my chest, my back. My physique started coming together finally, right after so long. And I felt proud of myself. And the biggest lesson I tell anyone who's trying to get into working out or fitness is working out is never about the muscles. It's never about looking good, showing off, or trying to impress people. The most important thing is it makes you become proud of who you're going to become. Just think about that. You're putting in all that effort to build your muscles, to build your body, but it was never about your body. It's about the mind. I'm more disciplined in my diet, my sleep, and for me specifically, content creation, where I posted every single day for months and months. It's been over a year now without that many followers, without that many views, and I knew that if I wanted to get to the level that I dreamed of getting to, I would have to stick to it. No one's going to cheer for you. No one's going to say, oh, you're doing a great job, you're doing amazing. Even your closest friends won't say that, but you have to keep pushing. You have to work very, very hard, and eventually I will get there, and I have faith that I will get there for calisthenics and for social media. And the thing you got to understand, the gym was never a destination. It's just something that helped you become the person you wanted to become. And let me ask you something to summarize. What actually makes someone fulfilled? Is it money? Is it cars? Is it all this dopamine we have all around in this world? No, it's finding your why. I remember the very first time I got a message from someone on social media after posting for months and months, getting no views, no followers, that I inspired someone. I got someone into fitness, into changing their lives and becoming a better person. And that just helped me push harder, because now that I know that what I'm doing does have an impact, it will help at least one person. So I'm gonna keep at it. You clicked this video because you wanted the secret to happiness, but one day you look back and realize that happiness isn't what you're chasing. You're chasing the man you're proud of becoming. So go make yourself proud, and I'll see you in the next video.